tax system that's important, so we help people in low incomes and the wealthier people pay more.
No, you can't. No, you can't. I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to make all the points you want, but I want to go on because it's done quarter of an hour so far. We've only done one question. If you have comment on this, remember, of course, you can join in the debate. If you're tweeting our hashtag BBCQT, if you want to text us 83981, the red button, or CFAX page 155. We'll tell you what others are saying. Let's go on to this question from Hannah May, please. Hannah May.
A motion released by some Lib Dem members today describes the Health and Social Care Bill as so deeply flawed that it's not possible to make it fit for purpose. Are they right?
I make no apologies for going back to the NHS. Of all the questions we've had this season, it's been top of the list, and it is once again here today in Dewsbury. And it's a question directed at the Liberal Democrats, so Joe Swinson, you can answer it first, which is you've got a lot of members going to their conference and saying that this whole Health and Social Care Bill is deeply flawed and is not possible to make it fit for purpose. Do you agree with that? And if the Liberal Democrats at their conference vote for this, will your party say, we pull back, we won't support it any longer?
Well, I disagree with the members who are putting this forward, but I absolutely agree with their right as democratic members of the party to put this forward and debate it at the party conference in a week or so's time. And our party conferences have a reputation for having very frank and open debates, and it's very important that we do listen to our members. But the reason
but you don't take a blind bit of notice of what they
That's not true. I tell you how that's not true at all,
Legalised
David.
cannabis, I remember, was one, wasn't it?
Well, another one, David, was last spring conference where there was a motion about the NHS, and the Liberal Democrats put forward a range of concerns, genuine concerns about the bill, and since then, over the last year, methodically within Parliament, in the House of Commons and the House of Lords, my colleagues Paul Burstow, Shirley Williams, Judith Jolly, have been working tirelessly to improve this bill, so it's now a very different beast to what it was a year ago. Is it now
deeply flawed or not? Is it a bill you now support?
It is a bill that I do support. There's some further debates in the House of Lords on the issues of competition, where my Liberal Democrat colleagues are working with the government about further safeguards to make sure that any private income that comes in is used for the good of NHS patients, because that's the people that matter in all of this. It's about how we can make sure we have a health service that delivers for you, the patient, so that it's free at the point of use, that you go along and you will have a good service. And it is facing huge challenges. We had many years with large investment, extra investment every year in the NHS, which when the times were good was possible to do. Now, the coalition government has protected NHS spending, which the Labour Party weren't going to do, but because the costs of the NHS go up so much each year, £600 million extra a year just on the drugs bill, for example, that actually feels very difficult for the NHS. So we do need to get more efficient, cut out some of the middle management, put decision-making back in the hands of the family doctors and the other clinicians, and that will actually start to save £1.5 billion every year that can go into providing NHS services for everyone to use.
Thank you. Rachel Reeves, do you agree with that analysis?
I fundamentally disagree with what Joe has just said. At the general election, David Cameron said there would be no more top-down reorganisation of the NHS. He said he would listen to doctors and to nurses and people who use the National Health Service day in, day out. And over the last few weeks, despite all these changes that Joe says the Liberal Democrats have made, doctors, GPs, surgeons, nurses, midwives, radiologists, psychiatrists have all come out and criticised this bill. They're all urging the government to drop the bill.
Are you convinced, when you look at the actual figures, that a majority of those organisations are coming out, or, as seems the case with some of them, only a small number of people replying? The Royal College of General Practitioners, 44,000 members, only 2,600 answered the question.
Well,
physiotherapists, only 1,100 answered out of 50,000 members.
I don't know.
Are we getting a true picture, in your view? I mean, you're a politician, you study these things.
And I don't know if there are doctors and nurses, people who use the health service in this audience today, but